What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we are going to start basic video editing. We're going to start from the introductory aspects till you become a professional video editor. Please, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss out on any updates. Before I continue, I would like to introduce a marketing agency, a reliable, result-driven company. If you are having problem in getting results with your goods or services when it comes to online marketing, you can give them a try. They also have an academy that you can join and learn so many things like digital marketing, web design, mobile application, even video editing. Check their link in the description section. Okay, in this class we are going to start with Adobe Premiere Pro. Is the professional software that you can use to edit your video. We'll be dropping time to time update till you become a professional. Thank you for watching, and let's get started.
First of all, if you don't have Adobe Premiere Pro installed in your PC, please you can use the link in the description section to install it on your system. The first thing we are going to discuss, I'm going to show you how you can start a project. Remember I told you that this class is just for introduction because we are going to be dropping some advanced lesson that we will not want you to be confused when you are trying to do what we are explaining. Okay, that is why we want to use this to explain, give you the insight of how the Adobe Premiere Pro is all about. We want you to be closer to the software, okay? And that is what this class is all about. Now, if you're a beginner, I think you need this and you need it perfectly, is for you. But if you've been using Adobe Premiere Pro, just relax. We are still coming back to you. But meanwhile, this class is just for to take everybody along. We want you people to know how to work from basic to a professional basic video editor. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can start a project, followed by how to introduce the layout. I'm going to introduce the layout, explain the environment to you. I'm going to show you how you can import and organize your file. I'm going to show you the basic shortcuts and also how you can create new sequence. Then I will tell you the important tools, some of the important tools in Adobe Premiere Pro. Then the final thing we're going to do is to put everything together, which is just basic editing. We are going to edit a simple clips so that we can touch everything we've explained from the first to the last. Okay, now if you are with me, please, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because this class we are going to make sure that we take everybody from the beginners to become a professional video editor. We are going to be showing you some kind things that you pay money to get, but here we're going to tell you free of charge. Reason being that we want you to be part of our community. All right, now let's get started, and a lot of much story. Now you open your Adobe Premiere Pro for the first time. If this is the first time after I finish installing it, now if this is the first time you open, click on Adobe Premiere Pro. If the first time you're opening it, the only thing you will see on the first interface is one, the create project button and open project button. These are the two things that you are going to see. But if you have been using it just like myself, you see recent project like this. Okay, just like what I've said before, this is the open and the new project and the open project. Now these are just recent files, work project I'm working on. Now to create a project, you use this new project button. to start a new project. Okay, I'm going to click on it right now. Now the next window that will comes out is for you to enter the details of your project, such as the name of your project, the directory where you want to save it, the location. Okay, now these are the major two things you are concerned with. The rest you leave it as it is. Okay, now I'm going to change, I'm not going to change my directory path. I'm going to leave it like this. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this, but I'm going to change the title. So I'm going to change the title. I'm going to change the title and I will give it basic class. Basic basic class. Okay, then after that, I think that is the only thing I've changed. If you like, you can change the location. If you want to change the location, leave everything the way it is and click OK. Now it's telling me that the project name already exists. Yes, but I still want to overwrite it because this is a new class. Okay, then I click yes. Now I've just finished creating my project. Now you've already defined the project you want to work with. Then the next thing is you start bringing in things that you want to use for your project. In everything, any project you want to embark on, there are things that will help you to complete the project. We'll come to that. Now, but before we start explaining how to bring in things, which is important things to your project, we will now discuss the layout because as it is, if this is the first time you are seeing this interface, I think you're going to be one thinking of where do I start, which one should I click, where can I do, so you will be somehow confused. It's normal. Okay, in any software you are working with for the first time, it's normal. So we're going to take you around the layout of Adobe Premiere Pro. All right, the first thing we're going to discuss in Adobe Premiere Pro is the panel that you use to import your media. Okay, now this panel here is where you use to import your media. It has its own sub tab like the project tab. Now this project tab, it shows the project, as you can see, the basic class you are working with. Okay, the project tab. Now you can work with one, two, three, four, five projects at the same time. All will line up on this tab, just like you have project, basic class, another project. You have, so you can navigate from one project to another project. You can pick one media from one project and use in another project. Okay, now that is what this tab is all about. Then this media browser is where you choose the file you want. Then the library, you see, you click on the library. This one you have to connect to their through internet, connect to Adobe Premiere Pro library. Now when you click on this, you have other hidden tab. Okay, okay, when you click on it, so you click on it, you see we have everything. Info, effects, you have the effect when you want to start using effect for your project. Okay, now this effect here is still the same thing with the one above. It's still the same thing with the one here. Okay, it's still the same effect. Okay, now it's still the same effect. Okay, now we have so many things that you can walk through. Now this is what this panel is all about. Now this second panel here is just like the monitor. Yes, this region here is like the monitor. What I call it monitor is any clip you select on this file. Once you click any clip you select here, it's going to show you what the clip is all about, and you can do some things with it. Just like what this all these buttons, when they are active, we're going to talk about them. You can do little with it. Okay, now that is what this panel is all about. Now before I continue, there's something I forgot to explain to you. Okay, now at this the first menu, we have the learning, assembly, editing, color, effect, audio, graphics. Okay, now for all these I'm going to explain the one that is relevant and that you'll be using. You don't need this, okay, because it's just for you to learn. Okay, this as well. Let's just ignore it. Now you need this, 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 and this. These are the 5 major tabs that we need to explain to you, and I will explain even how the panel, they have different panels, okay, depending on what you are working with. This first one I'm explaining now is for editing. Okay, as soon as I'm done with the first, I'll go to the second, which is the color. I explain the panel as well. Effects, I explain the panel. Audio, the same thing. Okay. Now this is what, now I'm explaining the monitor side. Now this monitor side has its own tab as well. This is the clip, the source. Once you click on this, it will show you the clips on this tab. This tab shows clips. You see the clips. Now this second tab show you the effect of that clip that is on the timeline. Okay, once there's anything on the timeline, you use the effect control to control so many things that you are doing on the timeline. Then this is just for audio as well, okay, and meta. So these are the things you have on your uh, monitor panel. Then the next panel I'm going to explain now is the timeline. This is the timeline panel. Okay, now this timeline consists of all tools that you can use. We are coming to that. These are the tools you can use. Now these are the panel. Now once you drop anything on this timeline, you are about to start doing wonder with it. Okay, you are about to start bringing the creativity, the animation. This is where you do the magic, and this is where you see, we call it sequence. Okay, and this is where you preview your work, what is going on the timeline. This is where you preview it. We call it the sequence. Okay, as you can see, no sequence. Okay, now this is where you work, and this is home button that later we'll still be talking about them as the project, as the class demand, because not everything I want us to explain. I want to explain basic things, things that as user of Adobe Premiere Pro, whether beginner or advanced, you cannot do away with it. Okay, that is what I want to explain. Now that is all about the editing tab of Adobe Premiere Pro. Now the color part. Now this is the color part, and you can see that the panel, there is a little changes. There's a little changes. You see, the little changes. Let me show you. Now we've explained this before. This is the where we import our media, right? Is small, and this is the tool. This is the timeline. Okay, now this is the preview panel. Okay, now we still have a lumetri color panel. Now this is where you pick your color, you do some magic, color mixing, color grading. This is where you perform some of the magic with the color here. Okay, now this is where you perform that magic. Now you can now see that we are having how many, 1 2 3 4 5 on the color, while editing consists of what, how many, 4 panels. Okay, and that is it on color panel. Now let's go to effect panel. This is the effect panel. This is the effect panel. As you can see, it's the same. We have this, 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 and we have, instead of lumetri panel, we have effect library. And remember, I told you before that this effect you are seeing here, this effect, you can still access it from your import media panel. This is it. Once you go to editing, now you can still access them from here. Look at it here. You can still access them from this panel. Okay, now this is it. So that is why some people don't bother going to this effect, because they have everything in their editing tab. Okay, so now the next tab is audio tab. You see it is still the same. How many? 1 2 3 4 5 panel. In this part, the project, there is no media, panel. It is replaced with project and other tab. Okay, then here you have your monitor, you have your timeline, you have your monitor, timeline, and preview Then you now have where another tab where you work with your sound, like the SFX, the music, the dialogue, etc. Okay, and this is where you work with it. Then the last but not the least that we are going to discuss before we move to the next topic is the graphics. Now this graphics, this has the same five panel. Okay, all these they are adjustable. You can adjust from one to one. They are all adjustable. Okay, you can adjust them. Okay, they are all adjustable. Now this is where you have graphics, text, animation, animated text, rolling text, flashing text. Okay, this is how you have it. This is where you choose from and you make changes. Okay, now that is it on the layout of Adobe Premiere Pro. Now I think as I'm as you are progressing, we start getting acquainted with Adobe Premiere Pro. We are not seeing it that far anymore. We are seeing it very close. Those of us that we've not worked with the software before, we are now seeing it closer to us. Initially, we'll be thinking of imagining so many things is far, but now it's closer to us. Now let's proceed. The next stage I want to discuss with us right now is how you can import. Like I've said before, a project, you will have some things to complete your project to achieve what you intend doing. Okay. Now that will now bring us to how you can import your files. Okay. Now to import files, we have so many ways you can import files to your project. There are so many ways. I'm just going to show you two or three methods you can import. The first method is double click on the import media. When you double click on this, okay, let me mark it so you will see what I'm doing. You double click on this import media. Okay, now when you double click on it like this, you see Explorer window will show up to ask you to choose the file. Go to the directory part and select the location of the file you want to, and select the file you want to work with. That is number one. Second way to do that is to right click on the project name. You can see the project. This is this region, which is the project. You right click on it like this. You right click on it and you click on import. Then it will take you to where you can still select the same way. Then the third way, you can use through the media browser. Click on media browser and locate where the particular file is being stored. Okay, you select it from here. That is another method. Then the last method I'm going to show you is to drag. You can minimize, adjust it, and drag the file that you want to. Let's say you have a file like this. Yeah, you can drag it, see it now, and drop here. Okay, that is another way of doing that. Okay, now those are the way you can import your file to uh your your Adobe Premiere Pro. So let's just import one. I'm going to bring this in. Okay, now we have a file that we've imported. Now when you want it to show on this, you click on double click on it, it will show. Now before that, remember I told you that importing a file and organizing a file in Adobe Premiere Pro or when editing a video is very important. Professional way to work, to make your work, is to organize your work. Okay, now when you want to organize your work, you create folder for videos, create folder for audio, create folder for graphics. Now if you have different video, you can still create sub folder for them, because if you are organizing your file, it will help you to, it will help your work to be neat. Even if you pause and you want to continue, you will not be confused on where to locate a particular file. So to create a folder, we call it bin. To create a folder, you click on this icon here. Okay, to create a folder, it is called bin. Look at it. Create, it is called bin. New bin. Now I have bin. I can call this video. I have one. I can drag this and drop inside one item. This is another one. Audio. I have two bin. Okay. Graphics. Now I have three bins. Okay. Now this bin, you can now arrange your file in them. Now if you have a lot of different videos that will, you can still create bin inside it. Maybe video one, video section one, you give it, you put section one, video section two. So it is very good to always organize your file. Okay. Now when you organize your file, it will help you to, it will make your work easier and faster. Now let's go back to the monitor. Like I told you, that there are some little icon that we need to understand. Okay. Now this icon, they are just used to work temporarily on a click before taking it to before taking it to your timeline. Okay. Now this part of this is what we call the you mark. Now this is where the mark is. Now you mark. You've already marked this region. Now you mark. So you use this now to mark. Now when you mark it, now what do you want to do with it? You want to either you mark it as the intro or you mark it as the outro. When I mean intro is you mark it as the region where the video will start to play, and you mark it as outro where the video will stop playing. Okay. Now you see mark in. Now you've already, whatever thing that is from here to here, you cut it out. You see it now because you've already marked the intro. Okay. Now when you mark the in, it will mark the beginning. Now this video will play for me. Whatever thing from me, you remove it. Now when you want to do the now when you now want to mark, when you want to add mark, now you can take it to this. You know, it's a mark. If you want to make this place as your outro, then you do the same thing here. You've already marked this region. Then you do it as what? Mark out. Cut out this. Okay. Now this is what this is used for. Then this particular one, you want to go to in, it will come here. Now you are at this section. To go back to the in, you click here. It's now at the in. Then then this is to play and to fast forward and to whatever. Now this place is to insert it to your timeline. Okay. If you want to, if I click on it now, it's going to come to my timeline. Now this is to take to export the frame. It's just like taking a screenshot. Okay. Now these are the icon that is very okay with us. Now these are the icon that you can work with while your video is on the monitor. Okay. Now that is how to uh, import your file to Adobe Premiere Pro. Now we are going to discuss how you can create a sequence. Okay. Now before we discuss how you can create a sequence, I would like to introduce the tools in Adobe Premiere Pro and how you can use them. Now we're still going to come back to this, but let me just give a brief introduction. Now these are the tools in Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay. Now the first one is what we call the selection tools. Is what we call the selection tools. Okay. Then the second one is what we call track select forward. Maybe you want to select a particular track to the front. You use this to do that, and I'm still going to explain it. You use this to ripple edit tool. Now this ripple edit tool means that it's still the same thing with track select. Now, but this time now you are going to create is you are going to select and you will delete the space in between. Let me just be telling you what the name is all about, because I just want to introduce it to you. But as soon as we start doing something with it, we will not be using all this to do something. Now this is the razor. We use it to cut. We use this razor to cut. Then the same thing with the slip tool too. This is the backward. We'll come back to that. Then this is just to make a pen draw, and this is to zoom, and this is just to type. Okay, now let me just give you that introduction. Now we'll come back to that. Then let's now go straight to the next topic, which is how to create a sequence. Now creating a sequence, you can do that in so many types. Now creating a sequence means taking an object, or let me not use the word object, taking a clip, a media, a file to the timeline. The moment you drag a clip to a timeline, object to the timeline, audio, anything you drag to the timeline, it becomes, you create sequence of that clip. Okay. Now to do that, you can either drag from here and drop inside the timeline. That is, you've created a a sequence for this particular class. You can see we are now having two. This is the real and this is the sequence of this. Okay, this is the sequence of this. Okay, now the next thing I will explain, if you don't want to use this method, you can as well use this. Once you click on it, the selected item will appear. So let's just leave that as it is. Now I will explain this part of this panel to us so that we understand what it's all about. Now when you have a file on your timeline, when you have a file on your timeline, you automatically create a sequence for that file. Now you have a region for video, you have a region for audio. Now this V1, V1, V2, V3, they are the region for your video. As you can see them like this, is for video, video 2, and video 1. Okay, and as you see the way it's being stacked, it shows that video in V3 will show before video in V2. Video in V2 will show before video in V1. That is how it's being stacked, except when you use this icon, which is to view. You call it, this icon is, when you click on it, it will hide the video in V3. When you click on V2, it will hide. So this is just this shows the visibility of the current thing you are working with at that point. Okay, now the same way we have V1, V2, we still have A1, A2, and A3. Okay, now the A1 is for audio, A2, audio 2, audio 3. As you can see them here. And A1, audio 1 will play before audio 2, and audio 2 will play before audio 3. Except when you use this to mute the audio. Okay, now that is what this is all about. I hope we are moving together, because this is very essential. You miss this stage, it will be very difficult for you to cope when we will be exploring so many things in Adobe Premiere Pro. There are a lot to learn, even if you know how to work with it. Another thing is for you to know how to create something with them. Creativity in video is very, very good. We've seen so many creativity, especially when you are watching a movie. You see someone will disappear. You see someone with in an environment that you don't understand, whether you will be asking yourself, is this environment, whether does it really exist in this world? Sometimes it's not all about the existence. It's all about the editing, the creativity while they are doing the production of the video. Okay, so let's leave that by the way. Now, after we've known how to create your sequence, then the next thing I'm going to explain to you right now is how to understand. There are some basic shortcuts that is very important, that is we need to know how to use them. Okay, Now, the basic shortcut we are talking about are the shortcut from the, let me say, from the tools. When you click on V, this V represents, when you click on V, this V represents selection tools. You can see it, V represents selection tool. Then when you click on A, it's track selected forward. When you click on Ripple, the B, activate this. C means to cut. Now, when you place your cursor on all these, you will see the shortcut you can use to trigger this. Then if you need more shortcut, you can go to Edit, then you go to Keyboard Shortcuts. Okay, now this is where you have all the shortcuts in Adobe Premiere Pro. You can take a look at them and start picking the one that is relevant to you. Now, this is the basic, the to the sorry the shortcut, how to get the shortcut. Then the last but not the least, now we are going to try and put everything together by doing a basic editing. This will help us to make use of some tools. It will help us to know how to work with timeline. It will help us to work with the effect control, etc. So we are going to do that right now.
Okay, let's try and put everything together, just like I've said, which is the last topic. We are going to make sure we give a very simple video editing. At least it will help us to get the insight of how it works. Okay, I'm going to first of all cut this video. I'm going to cut it. Now I have this video cut, and in between it I'm going to add a kind of I'm going to add I'm going to add graphics to it. So let me click to the graphics. I'm going to add graphics to it, and I'm going to pick any of these. I'm going to pick any of these and drop in between. Okay, yes, I'll have any of these and drop in between. Unable to connect to the, just click OK. If whatever thing you are seeing at the moment. Okay, now click on this to change the write-up. Here at the edit tab, let me use it. When you are using the graphics, this is where you edit, and now you change the title to something like this. I'm going to change the title right now. Double click on it, or should better still take it to. So let me see, let me put something like this. Let me say flashback. Okay, let's use flashback. Okay, now we are making this to be kind of flashback. Then in between this, I would like to, after the flashback, I would like to add a transition to it. So I'm going to use this effect here, so that I don't need to go back to this place. Since I'm still working, I still want to work under graphics tab, and we'll pick any of this video transition. Okay, I'll pick any of these. We'll pick any of these. Let me pick this dissolve. Let me pick this dissolve transition. Let me use this crossfade. Yes, and I have a transition there. So I need to make this, I need to make the starting point to be a little bit, I need to make the starting point to be a little bit darker. So there I'm going to use my effect control, and I'm going to make use of the
of the opaque. Yes, I'm going to make use of the opacity. In this case, I'm going to tick. Now this, let me explain to you very well. This effect control, there are so many things that when you add it to your sequence, either effect, transition, you can adjust it from there. Okay, you can adjust it from here. So in case you open yours and you are not seeing any of these, just remember that we are seeing this because add we added graphics, and that is where we are seeing graphics. Some things we can control, use to control our graphics. You can see it. Then this motion is fixed. You will see it. You don't need to add it. Then the same thing with opacity. I think this one is fixed, but this graphics, you will see it according to any other thing here. You will see according to what you add to it. So in this case, I'm going to click. Now there is what we call keyframe. Okay, now keyframe is used to store changes, modification of a sequence at any point in time. So now to create whatever thing you changes you are making here, you are controlling here, to make it to be active, to make it to be dynamic, you use the keyframe. You add keyframe to it. Then adding keyframe to it, after any property you want to work with, there is this dot here. Yes, this dot signifies that you are adding keyframe. So what you need to do at this point is to click it. Since the keyframe is highlighted, whatever changes on this opacity will be active. As you are working, they will be different. So for example, let me say the opacity, I'm reducing it at this point of my work. I'm reducing the opacity. I'm not seeing the difference. What is happening? Okay, sorry, I'm supposed to click. Sorry, let me reset this and remove this as well. I'm supposed to click the video, any video you are working, any clips, any particular clip. Now remember, now we have two clips. This is one single clip, but we cut it into two. It's now two clips that we're having currently right now. So you just have to click on any one. This is the one I want. I want something to happen at the beginning of this, so I've clicked on this. So anything I'm doing now will be applicable to this particular selected clip. So I go straight to the opacity as I told you, and I click. Now I've click on the keyframe. Okay, now what I need to do now is to, are you seeing it now? Opacity means the dark. Okay, so at this point, from now till this thing will be playing, everything will be dark. So I want it to, as a particular point, I want to change the settings again. I've stored this using keyframe, so I need another keyframe to start it at this point again. So at this point, right, I'm going to start bringing it up. At this point, I go front, then I want it to go back to its default. Okay, which is 100%. I want it to be 100% at this point. So it's now going to look like this if you have to play it. Just like this. Perfect. So this is going to look like. So now at this point, remember this is a flashback, telling you that is a flashback. Okay, so I want to change the color of this to look like, let's say, it's a flashback. Okay, so we have to change the color so that it will show that this is back. There's changes. Maybe we're trying to say something that maybe this is a flashback, what happened in the past, but of that time the quality of the video is not the same as the present. So we just have to show little different from the color so that they will know that, oh, this different from this, the current, there's more quality, more color. Then the previous, then there's lower cost. So we just have to illustrate that. So doing that, we have to go from graphics to color here. Now we have to select. We have so many color we can use. We have so many color you can select at this point. Okay, now at this point you have as many as, so we don't know the one that will suit what we are trying to do, but let's just try this. Let's just try this. Fade film. Let's just say fade film. This one is just to blur it. Vibrant. Okay, this is what we want. We can return this, and we make this. Okay, I think that is it. We've done something like that. So here, let's see everything. You play the video. Okay, keep playing, and flashback. Then there's little transition to show that this is a flashback. Okay, now that is just what we are trying to do. Now if this one is still merged, let's assume this flashback, the graphics is merged, you can reduce it as well. Okay, now let me use Ctrl Z to do that. Okay, you can use, let's use this backward ripple edit and see how it's going to be. You see it? Remember the first time I tried to adjust it, there is space in between, but this particular one, as soon as you adjust it, there is no space. That is the difference between the ripple and using the select. Thank you for watching this video. This is the end of our basic class. The next video, we are going to show you more functions, things you can do with Adobe Premiere Pro. But I think with this video right now, you can be able to do one or two things. You can explore at least with touch color, with touch effects, with touch graphics. So, and we've make use of some tools such as cut, select, and ripple tools. Okay, now this is just the basic background you need for now. Now the next class, everything we'll be doing will be clear, and you will now be able to understand and do it on your own. Thank you for watching this wonderful video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to use the notification bell so you won't miss out on any update on video editing from basic to professional. That is our target. We want everybody that start this journey to learn before we complete this course, to be able to edit your video professionally, add some creativity, motions, so many things to spice up your video. So don't forget to use the comment section. You are free to ask your questions and we're going to give you reply. Also, don't forget to check out Tandy Beast Technologies Limited. You can see their website. They have services that you might like, and they can also, if you feel like to learn anything from them, they are very good. They are going to give you the best, and they're going to assist you. They are not only going to teach you and help you, but they are going to help you to see that yes, you are strong enough to continue your journey.
Thank you for watching that wonderful video. Hope you enjoyed the class. Please don't forget to subscribe. In our next class, we are going to discuss more advanced lesson because we have a lot to cover. In this episode, we are going to discuss so many things like color grading, masking, custom transition, and many more. Please don't miss out on this class. See you in our next class. Thank you.